Hey friends, I'm back again with my second video. Okay, this game was played between myself and a very good friend of mine whose name is Keyur Bhatt. This game was played on the website chess.com. Okay, before I start this video, let me dedicate this video to a very special friend of mine. His name is Mohan Thilagaraj. Mohan, this video goes to you. Okay, so prior to the game, as you can already see that my opponent is rated way higher than me. Prior to the game his rating was somewhere around 1830 and mine was 1397. Okay, so let's get started. e4, king's pawn opening move. c5, the Sicilian defense. Knight f3, d6. This is the Kopek variation of the Sicilian defense. d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6. Okay, at this point of time I was expecting him to play knight c3. Instead he played a very different out of book variation. He played bishop d3. This would facilitate an early castling, but this is an out of opening book move. Okay, so I just went around and I just went ahead with the dragon variation, that is fianchettoing my dark squared bishop. g6, c4. Okay, now you see the point of him playing bishop d3 on move number 5. Well, his idea was to push the c pawn to c4, from c2 to c4. That is why he didn't develop his knight to c3, so as to push his pawn to c4. Bishop g7, bishop e3, knight c6, knight c3, a6, to stop his knights from coming to the b5 square. f3, just to strengthen the e4, kingside castle, knight to d7. Okay, I played this move so as to double attack the knight on d4. Now in case he plays some silly move like a3 or any other move, I can simply go ahead and capture the knight on d4. So indirectly I am compelling him to take my knight on c6. He goes ahead and takes the knight. Knight takes c6, b takes c6. Okay, now I have a semi-opened b file for my rooks to become active. Queen to d2, played knight to e5. What I felt is this move was incorrect on my part. Instead I should have played rook to e8. The idea being, in case he wants to exchange my dragon, then I can just retrieve it back. Okay, so instead of that I played knight to e5. He played rook to a1. What he was thinking was I was about to capture the bishop on d3 using my knight, so as to add pressure on the d file, which was about to get about to be semi-open d file. He just brought his rook over here on d1. Rook to e8. This was a prophylactic move, thinking that he would bring his bishop to h6 and try to exchange my dragon. This is called as the dragon, the bishop on g7, because it is a very important piece which is guarding my king against various threats. I have already weakened my dark squares on h3 and h6 and f6. So this dragon is presently controlling those squares. So it is controlling the dark squares, which are very important for the safety of my king. Okay, so here is a variation which can go like this. He may play bishop to h6. In that case, I will retrieve my bishop back to h8, because this dragon is very important for the safety of my king. As long as the dragon survives, my king is safe enough. Okay, he didn't play this. Let's go back to the original thing. He played b3, played a5 to expand on the queen side, and so as to prevent him from pushing his pawn over here, because in case he pushes his b pawn to b4, then I can just exchange it with my a pawn, and I'll be having two open files for my rook to be active. h3, I played bishop to b7 so as to connect all my three pieces, the rook, queen and the second rook. He played knight to a4. Okay, can you see his idea right now? Just in case I play some silly move like h6, what can he do? Well, he can do this. He can bring his bishop to b6, so I'm compelled to move my queen. I played to d7. He'll capture my a pawn, so he wins a pawn, and now he's having a queenside majority, which will be very helpful for him in the end game. I saw that. I played something else. I played c5 to stop his bishop from getting inside, from getting in my queen side and becoming a thorn. Okay, knight to c3. And here I took a decision. I captured the bishop on d3, which I feel was a mistake, because this is a closed game and presently the knights are more active than the bishops. So I felt that this was a wrong decision which I made. But anyways, this is what I played. I played knight takes d3, that is captured his bishop on d3 using my knight. Okay, he captured it using his queen. And now looking at the board, you can see that his bishop is somewhat a bad bishop, because what I wanted to say is both my bishops are good bishops, because this bishop is active, is having a open diagonal. The a1 h8 diagonal is open for my bishop, and the second bishop on b7 is also having targets, that is pawns which are on light squares over here on the king side as well as the queen side. So both my bishops are good bishops. Okay, let's proceed. Played bishop to c6. Idea was to bring my rooks over here and mount pressure on the b file. He played a4. He saw my idea that I would have pushed my pawn to, I would have pushed it to a4 so as to open up the a file. So instead of that, allowing that, he played a4 to stop it. Okay, finally I decided to give up my dragon. I captured it using my bishop, because this is a closed game and his knight was going to be very dangerous, and I didn't have a knight to counter his knight. Queen takes c3. Queen to c7. I wanted to bring my other rook, the rook on e8 to b8. Okay, rook to d3, rook e to b8,